Welcome back to the League of Legends Season 3 World Championship, coming to you live from Los Angeles in front of this lovely studio audience. It's time for our first match of the day as Europe's Lemondogs take on China's OMG. And thus far this tournament, China's regular season champs have applied a massive amount of early and unrelenting aggression on their way to a perfect start here at the Worlds.
I know, in both of their games, OMG were able to pull off 3-minute tower dives as cleanly as I've ever seen them executed. Loveland has impressed me so much already. He used to be a support, and now his jungle is just on point. He used the Aatrox passive to go for a level 2 tower dive, as well as Lee Sin in their other game, getting 2 kills on top of the first blood. And once OMG have that lead, they've been able to build those into some very clean team fights in the mid game, which they've been able to finish off the entire game from there. This mid laner from China, MVP Cool there, he's put up some incredible numbers. In their first 2 games, remember, one of those games was against Faker. That 15, 3, and 16 score, even more impressive now. But the most deadly man on OMG so far has been their AD carry, San. He stacked up a KDA of 19.5 in their first 2 games, while taming Wild Turtle and Piglet.
Well, today San and OMG will try to add the Lemondogs and NecroTarkan to their portfolio of wins as they head to the Rift to take on Europe's second-place team.
Yeah, well, Lemondogs didn't fare as well against SKT as OMG did. Adaptation has also been one of the hallmarks of Lemondogs this summer. They show that they're capable of adapting to these new patches quicker than other teams in Europe, and now they've also had a day to try and adapt to OMG's high-pressure style. They saw that game against SKT1, so they're probably going to plan something to come at that very early. The big matchup, though, against these 2 teams is going to be in that mid lane. It's the Lemondogs' NecroTarkan. He's all about controlling his lane rather than roaming very early, and then he snowballs that later into split-pushing style. He's going to be looking to lock down Cool.
And for NecroTarkan team, this Season 3 championship is their first time on the world stage, and the Lemondogs are confident that even if they lose out in the group stage, they're bound to win over some fans.
Lemondogs is a new team which came from the bottom to the top, and now they're gonna play for the World Finals.
Lemondogs is one of the teams with the lowest fan base. It's a team formed of like fresh players. None of them have really been pro except for one, which is Tabs.
We're kind of like the unknown team, dark horse that maybe people underestimate, and we'll try to show what we are made of in the World Finals.
We have a small fan base, no one cares about us, but we're still good at the game, so it's definitely a huge opportunity. But I think like we are here, we have like nothing to lose but everything to win. Even if it doesn't work out, we are still like safe in the next split, and we can train for like the next year and see how we do then, because we're still a pretty young team. Why shouldn't we go for like the 1 million if we are here?
So we always have to deal with pressure, so I don't think it's gonna be something that hinders us at all. Hopefully it just makes us play even more focused and better.
In a way, we have entire EU on our backs right now. We present the EU, and we have to make them proud.
Everything to win, nothing to lose, and I think that's what could make the Lemondogs so dangerous here.
Well, they said they don't have that many fans, but they're good at the game, so that's important.
Fans will come, no doubt about that one. Let's have a look at the starting lineups for this one, starting in the blue corner with the Lemondogs. They are Zoro0 in the top lane, Dexter in the jungle, NecroTarkan in the mid lane, the AD carry Tabs, and the support player Mithy.
And in the red font, it's OMG. Going is up top. Loveland's in the jungle. Their mid laner is Cool. Their AD is San, and their support is Big Pomelo.
So let's talk a little bit then about Champion Select, because there are some crossovers in this one. The mid laners both played Ari up until now. We've seen Corki coming out of both AD carries. Could be a very heated Champion Select this one around.
I think that the most interesting part of this Champion Select is going to be the jungle for Loveland. Because I talked about, Lemondogs, they adapt quickly, and they watch the other games previously. He hasn't gone to use his jungle Yorick yet. I love really crazy jungle things, and the jungle Yorick is actually a very interesting pick for them because it changes their style a lot. So if Lemondogs prepared for the early tower dives, OMG, if they get Yorick, they won't be doing that, and it'll be more of a counter jungling, and it'll be Loveland going to attack the other jungler. So it'll definitely throw Lemondogs off if they forget to ban out that Yorick.
Well, we're into Champion Select, and we can see the first couple of bans coming out. Aatrox taken away from Loveland. That was in their win against TSM, of course. Ended up 4-2-16 with that. Good champion to take out. Zed on the other side, we've already seen what NecroTarkan can do with it.
That Aatrox ban really makes me sad. Every single game that's happened so far that Aatrox has been in, I haven't been able to cast. I have so many little nuances that go into playing Aatrox I want to contribute, but taking that away from Loveland's a great choice. He went with the 1 buff tower dive, which is what caught the other team off guard there. Level 2 going for that and using the passive that early to get first blood was really beautiful play. But like we said, no Yorick ban here, so I think that OMG might go with that one and switch up their strategy.
Well, the other ban's coming down. Caitlyn and Orianna taken away here by the Lemondogs. Caitlyn again aimed towards San. It leaves that Corki up, or at least unless OMG ban it here for their final one.
I mean, you're right to keep bringing this Corki back up. It's a very high priority throughout this whole tournament. I think it only got through once so far, not being picked or banned. And it is up first for Lemondogs, but the first pick, very important, especially we talked about the mid laners here. Both of these guys have big champion pools, and Cool is very well known for counter picking. So I don't think they're going to want to blow that one very early on the mid lane.
So Elise being hovered over and selected here by Lemondogs. Now, this is a champion that Dexter is no stranger to. We finished 9-0-6 coming out of the jungle against Gaming Gear EU. But back in the summer split, when Lemondogs destroyed Gambit all the way back near the start of the season, that's where he started as well. So this Dexter, Elise for Dexter, very dangerous.
Yeah, if you want to be dueling early in the jungle, Elise is actually pretty good. She did have some resistances at her form, so it's a little bit harder, and she relies a lot on getting the jump on the other jungler so that she can land her combo and get the burst out early. But this Kennen pickup as well for OMG, the first pick away from them, takes that away from Zoro up in the top, who loves Kennen.
And second pick was Ahri as well. We already mentioned that both mid laners have played that up until now. And it's going to be cool that gets that one this time around. Did play it against TSM as well while we're on that point. Finished off with 11 kills, so certainly scary. Other side, Corki coming in finally for the Lemondogs, along with the Sona for Mithy.
Yeah, that duo lane is extremely strong. Corki, once he hits level 6, poke with the rockets is really good against another AD carry that doesn't have too much to say, someone that isn't going to be rushing a Bloodthirster. It really slowly whittles them down. And early on as well, Sona, very strong poke with the power chords. It also means in the mid game, they've got a nice area of effect power spike there from the bottom lane, coming from that Corki and Sona.
So let's have a look then over towards OMG. Picks starting to slow down a little bit as we get deeper in. Zyra is a champion that Big Pomelo has exclusively played so far in Worlds. We're only 2 games in though, and he's going to make it 3 here, along with that Lee Sin pickup for Lovely.
So it's not going to be Jungle Yorick. My hopes are dashed again. It's going to be the Lee Sin this time. He performed very well in the Lee Sin though as well. We talked about the early gank up top that got them first blood, 2 kills, and the first turret. That's what snowballed them their first game. And they did lock that one in. The crowd cheering for the Fizz, I think. It's not the Zach cheer. I'm pretty sure that's for Fizz.
I think we're safe in thinking that that is a cheer for Fizz coming down. Zach going to be picked up as well. Again, another champion used against Gaming Gear for Zoro in the top lane. But this Fizz, we've seen throughout the season that NecroTarkan is definitely good with Fizz. He's got Tabs there to teach him, who was famed, obviously, for his Fizz over in Europe when he actually played mid lane before. So strong, scary lineup from Lemondogs.
Yeah, Tabs, he's still actually confident in his ability to play mid lane as well. He said that he could play mid lane right now in the LCS, and he would be fine, even though he's already switched over to AD. So they've got a lot of mid lane players over on that Lemondogs team. But I think that, you know, it's really Zoro that shoves up his lane, and he's the one who does the roaming. So it'll be interesting how they make use of this Fizz sort of in the mid game. You know, once he gets the Lich Bane, though, then he'll be looking for those roaming assassinations. Meanwhile, OMG, cool first picking that Ahri. There's not a lot of counters to Ahri. I mean, Fizz is pretty good against him, against her, but he is so confident in that, he's going to be looking to roam very early. As soon as he's level 6, the other lanes are going to have to watch out, because cool combos with Loveland for very early roaming kills superbly well.
Final pick coming out there for OMG was the AD carry, Tristana. Let's have some thoughts on that one, Kobe.
Yeah, the Tristana, that's definitely kind of fallen off a little bit here. There's a couple reasons. Because she passively pushes her lane because of the explosive shot that you level up early anyway. And then also, with the nerfs to Blade of the Ruined King, it means that she does have to wait really till that late game. She's got a nice, very early power spike. As soon as she hits 6, it's a good burst. But then the mid game is kind of weak for her, and then she'll really shine at the late game.
So let's have a look then what you guys at home have been thinking about this one. According to lolesports.com, 70% of you think that OMG will keep their perfect record intact. And it's also between the analysts, very, very split. Two of you, Jack and Crepo, going for Lemondogs. Monty and Double Lift going for OMG. So this one up in the air, but the fans, they've not been wrong too often in this one, we have to say, going for OMG.
Yeah, 70% is actually quite a lot. I'm pretty glad the analysts were split 2-2 because this game really will be close. It's kind of a classic matchup here. OMG, everyone knows they like the early aggression. They didn't bring out the Jungle York. They usually sin, so it's probably going to be a similar story to what we've seen from them already. And Lemondogs prefer a slower early game so they don't get behind, and then they methodically finish out the mid and late games by just taking the objectives that are clear and slowly pushing up.
So we're going to get into game then. An important one here in Group A. The unbeaten OMG taking on Europe's second place. And honestly, the shining light team from the summer split, we have to say, leading all the way from week 6 in that one. So let's get into this one. We've said level 1 going to be very important. Lemondogs tried something funky against SKTT1. We all know that OMG are not scared of getting their hands dirty at level 1.
Yeah, and we talked about how Lemondogs have scouted OMG the past day, but OMG also saw that level 1. So Lemondogs are not going to pull the same trick twice. Much more defensive this time, and they only drop 1 ward. They use the rest of their champions as body wards here, just sitting in the bushes, making sure that OMG don't pull anything tricky. And it's actually a very defensive start for both teams. OMG might be doing a late invade on the blue to take this one away very early from Dexter.
So we see they're checking that brush up in the top side. They will be moving down towards that blue buff, which there's no vision there right now from Lemondogs. They've sat quite happily down on their red buff, so this could be a very interesting start. And by the looks of things, could see an early steal. They've got those deep wards down, so they're happy at this point, OMG, with the vision that they've got.
Lemondogs did not see that late invade either from OMG. So this ward, this lane ward here, that's going to see the duo lane for Lemondogs go up top, will tip off OMG. Currently, they have Kennen already up there. And it doesn't look like they are going to switch it either. He has started Doran's Blade, though. And Kennen with Doran's Blade start, it's a little bit rough in the 2 versus 1 situation, as we've already seen earlier in this tournament. And now he's going to recall. As soon as he gets that info, they are pulling the switch.
Yeah, switch going to come straight down. Big Pomelo and San headed up there. That Zyra Tristana lane. We see Dexter. He's kicking things off with his red buff, as is Lovelin over the other side for OMG. And we'll see if, with the vision that they've got down early, whether they'll be trying to steal things away. But the stage we're at the tournament, the fact that OMG are so good at level 1 and are 2-0 in the group, looks like we're just going to see a pretty standard start coming out.
Yeah, they definitely did get their money's worth with that ward, though, because we've already seen how bad it is for a Kennen Doran Blade start. He got 1 pot, and both of their side lanes are getting back very late to the lane. Sand takes so much harass. Good job by Tabs. They actually have the experience advantage here, too. So as soon as they hit level 2, they can put even more pressure.
Dangerous start here for OMG and San. Meanwhile, Nuke Duck in the middle, taking a lot of damage here from Cool. And we'll see how that Fizz handle things at level 4, where he could get started. Dexter roaming up top.
I love this from Dexter. They're going to take advantage of the early harass that they got in on Sand. Elise is amazing at turret dives. She does have Flash and Repel available for this. There's only 150 HP on Sand right now. He still has his barrier, though, so this could be a well-played bait.
Well, let's see. The recall going to be started there for San. Is that the bait? Are they looking to bait them in here underneath that tower and see if they can lock them down? This could be very, very scary for Lemondogs if they get involved. San holding far enough back as to not take any poke out of Sona and Corki.
They have to be careful because the longer they wait, the more likely it is that Lovelin will be heading up top. And if they try and pull off a 3 versus 2 tower dive on OMG and fail, then it would be the complete same story that OMG's already had. Even though they're the ones not going aggressive, they're not the ones initiating the tower dive. If Lovelin's able to counter this, okay, they just show. A lot of build up there for not much action.
Well, San did manage to get himself back. You can see in the player cam down there on the left, Mithy just having a few words after that one, realizing that they couldn't quite get things together as they would have maybe hoped. But they should be able to get a bit of damage down onto this turret. Lovelin actually coming from the side. He's going to land the Q. Tabs going to Valkyrie away, but Lovelin will follow him. He has to flash away from that one. Realize he'd gone a little too deep.
Okay, flash from the jungler for exhaust off the support is a pretty decent trade. And they also chunk down Tabs, so he's going to have to recall right now. They also did get a good try ward, but now it's Dexter. He has the opportunity to steal away this big Wraith camp and get a little experience back. Since he spent so much time camping that top lane, he's a little bit behind Lovelin right now.
He's going to be able to steal that one away. Where's he going to go back to? They put a ward down in that top tri-bush, and honestly, there's been no answer to that one coming out of OMG.
Dexter's spending a lot of time here up top. I think it will pay off. They did not ward behind them. Sand still does have both of his summers, though.
This could be very, very interesting as Corki and Sona get back into lane. The ping's coming down. They're not 100% sure where that Lee Sin is at this point, and I think that's what's slowing them.
Oh, they have vision of this, so Dexter's going to have to back off. Not able to make anything happen from so much time spent in this side of the jungle. Now he's in trouble.
Well, going in there on towards Lovelin, who's going to chase him through from this one. Repel goes in, but he's coming straight back down on top of him. Charm will be flashed away from there by Dexter. Nukeduck came across. Nice cocoon landing there, max range onto Lovelin as Nukeduck going to go in aggressive here onto Cool, who's not really got much mana, but in the end, no kills.
Now there could be kills up top, though. More action.
San going very low, but again, they've not quite got the damage to finish this one off. Big Pomelo is going to be chasing here on towards Mithy, though. And Mithy right now does have a flash available. There is a grasping roots landing in, but San not close enough. Lovelin came up to help, but they've seen that.
So now, both junglers without flashes after that last exchange. The big thing is that Ahri, without flash, pre-6, you can actually pull off a gank. Okay, now she's 6. Tough break.
Timing on that one. There is the grassing roots coming out once again. There is that mid lane. Cool and Nukeduck both up at level 6 at this point. And we'll see if any action goes down there. Meanwhile, Lovelin has snuck himself into the brush in top.
And we don't have Dexter returning top either, so he's spent enough time up here. He doesn't feel like he got anything out of that time, and he wants to catch back up by farming his jungle. Whereas Lovelin has not given up on the situation up top. We see this a lot in the Chinese LPL season. The junglers will repeatedly gank the same lane over and over again. But as Lemondogs are freezing right now, there's not much that you can pull off with a Lee Sin.
And we've talked about this early game for OMG, these 3 men dives that they've done so seamlessly well in their other games. We're 7 minutes into this one, and Lemondogs have managed to hold all those attempts away.
It is a little bit of an interesting twist from OMG going with Tristana here too. They do have a stronger late game than they usually do. They've got Ahri, who's an amazing assassin, one of the most highly prized assassins in the game right now, to go pick people off. And then they also have a lot of mid-line control for their team fighting situations. If they have a Slicing Maelstrom from Kennen plus the Stranglethorns from Zyra, it's a huge amount of area control among the first dragon fight that will come out. So they actually have a very well-rounded team composition right now, and the early game is really just up to the plays that Lovelin can or can't make. So far, Dexter's been done a good job at going even with Lovelin.
And he will pick up his red buff once again. We'll see if he, with that, takes himself into a lane. This mid lane being very quiet in terms of the junglers. They've not really visited there whatsoever. Something that surprised me because Dex, who we've seen in the past, has spent a lot of time helping out Nukeduck. Here he comes, the cocoon though, not going to land. Cool, of course, has his ultimate available. Going to be hard to lock down.
Yeah, that was sort of a half-hearted gank right there. You didn't really expect to burn anything. Cool has his Spirit Rush available, so he could have even burned that if he had to. But really the story from all the early action was the CS lead that Taps has been able to accrue over San. And that is also partially due... Okay, so that was the ticking damage there. It's unfortunate. Dexter. Oh, here we go. Aggressive up top.
Diving onto Mithy, exhaust is put down onto him. There's a ward. Mithy gonna fall. It's first blood coming in, but will they be able to make it too? Right now, Tabs, he's gonna stick around because Dexter's coming in. It's Tabs that gets the kill back. First blood to OMG, but an instant reply from Lemondogs.
And that was a good job of Tabs pulling in the ADN support. After he had already lost his support, they were still able to answer with a kill at least. So it wasn't as bad as it looked. I was about to talk about the CS lead that he has gotten over San though, and it was because they switched those lanes. So San and Big Pamo were a little bit late to lane, and that's why they got chunked down so early from the power cord of Sona and the phosphorus bomb of Corki.
So you'll notice no blue buff after that was taken by Dexter. A little bit unfortunate. Not the end of the world for this one though.
Yeah, there's a few things that you have to be wary of when you're a mid laner and you're trying to get that blue buff from your jungler. It's the red buff burn. Also, there's that mastery in defense where the minion or the monsters will do damage to themselves when they hit your jungler. And then you also have to worry about the Elise spiders.
And obviously, Dexter didn't worry about any of them well enough. Able to pick that one up. We'll just say he wanted to do that. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt from this side of things. Cool, though, on the other side, does have that blue buff gifted to him by Lovelin. Also has a nice CS lead there in that mid lane.
And because Fizz is melee, he often gets behind in CS fairly early. Being behind only 11 right now at 10 minutes is actually very well done by NecroTarkan. I think that's a very acceptable CS disadvantage for a Fizz versus Ahri matchup.
Wow, pink ward's coming down there, and Lemondogs instantly getting themselves in position from that one. Dexter is around that area as well. Zoro has actually come down from this top lane, and this is where things get dangerous. We mentioned earlier Zoro not scared to leave that top lane to get involved in mid.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that was a sort of classic Zoro move, where he's got pink ward in that tri-bush, shove up the lane, then rotate down to try and make something happen mid. Cool right now is just so mobile, though. They weren't able to take advantage of these triple pink wards that Lemondogs have placed up in the top side.
So earlier on, obviously Zach and Kennen were facing off down in this bottom lane. They've now switched since then, but Zoro doing a good job still of holding out on that one. Just 5 CS behind at this point. Got that Cowl in there as well, working himself up. And we'll see how that one goes. Double Doran's Blade blasting one now in there as well for Go-Going's Kennen.
Yeah, the Zach-Kennen matchup is, just kind of a farming matchup right now because Zach has gone Doran Shield to start, reducing the auto attacks, which is Kennen's early harass, and then with the Cowl, it gets also the magic resist and regen for the magic damage that Kennen puts out at later stages.
So they're taking a bit more damage. Lovely, and actually inside of the tri-bush right now, this could be extremely dangerous on top of the wall.
Opportunity for a counter gank here. Okay, this is going to be a 3-on-3. Get a little excited. There they go.
Cocoon landed onto him. They're going to all dive onto him. Flash away from Lovelin, but can he escape this one? He gets the W off towards San, stays alive, but he's low now, and Dragon is there.
Yeah, that's still definitely a win for Lemondogs. Chunking out the jungler that low means that now Dexter has free roam of the map. He was seen by this pink ward going up mid, and Cool is not afraid.
There's Chum the Waters coming down. Can they lock him up? Cocoon will land in onto him. Cool in trouble. Has to use the ultimate to dash back towards his turret. Stays alive.
So Dexter, so far, chunking down Lovelin, then chunking down mid lane. He's got some good harass off, but he hasn't really been able to convert anything.
Wow, dive in there. Crescendo coming back, but it won't be enough to save Mithy. There's the jump and the Valkyrie away from Tabs at exactly the same time. Tabs survives. No one there to follow up like that last one, though.
So that's the post-level 6 Tristana that I was talking about, the burst that he has with the rocket jump, explosive shot, and buster shot. It's a very good combo for killing supports.
So, we were talking about how Dragon was opened up by Lemondogs earlier with that damage. Now it's OMG with that kill that are in position and have got it down to below half HP. Dexter is hanging around. He wants to go for the steal. That won't happen, though. It's Lovelin that will smite that one away, and Lemondogs back off.
This duo lane for OMG is doing a lot of work for them right now. Even with that early CS disadvantage, they've been able to make plays on their own. And this one was able to be converted into a dragon. This is one of the reasons that OMG were at the top of the LPL, the Chinese scene. They often will fight and then go straight for objectives just like that. Very well done.
See NecroTarkan able to pretty much dodge everything that Cool's throwing at him there. That CS lead has slightly increased for him. We can see that NecroTarkan wants to make sure he's got vision around that area. Doesn't quite have Chum the Waters off cooldown, so wants to be very, very safe on that front. Lovely not being able to get involved in any of the 2 kills right now. For an OMG game, this is actually really, really low in terms of kills.
I'm definitely surprised that it's actually the bottom lane for OMG that's picking up the slack in the early game that Loveland hasn't been able to convert. But again, you have to applaud them. And now he got it this time, so that's why everybody's laughing.
It did. Dexter actually backed away completely from that one. He's like, no, don't do that again, Dexter. That wouldn't be very nice of you. NecroTarkan able to pick up his first blue buff of the game here, 14.5 minutes down. Let's have a look at the overall picture. It's around about a 2,000 gold lead at this point for OMG.
And again, even though OMG is ahead, NecroTarkan in the mid lane is doing very well. We talked about his style being just staying in mid lane mostly, and until he can accrue that big power spike. He's doing a good job on Fizz, staying relatively close with Ahri, which is difficult to do. And once he's able to combine this Sheen and Blasting Wand up into that Lich Bane, then he'll start to look for the plays that he can create on other members of OMG.
Let's have a look down the AD carries here as well while we're at it. 2 out of the 3 components, main components of that Trinity Force done for Tabs as Corki. On the other side, we can see that the workings for Tristana there with that Vamp set for a Bloodthirst are also looking like it will be that Infinity Edge first.
Pretty classic there for Tristana. She really does thrive in the end game with that attack speed she gets from her rapid fire ability. So going Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster, into Phantom Dancers is a very classic build. Slay the Ruin King also fairly popular, but like I said, with the range nerf and the cooldown nerf to the active, some people are definitely thinking twice about it on her now even.
Sand just freezing out that lane here. They've got a single ward down, to be honest, in the river there. Obviously being very careful about Dexter, because in his previous Elise games, the fact that he's got off to such strong starts has been what's helped Lemondogs go forward in the game. This time around, that's not quite worked out for him the way they'd have wished.
Well, I think, yeah, both of the junglers have matched up very well here. NecroTarkan just throwing off the blue buff ultimate there. It's because he does have that cooldown reduction, so he's not worried about just using that on Ahri very quickly. They trade ultimate actives right there, and they'll be back up at very similar times.
Actually, Loveland is coming around here. They're pinged right on top of him. That's the ward that NecroTarkan put down a little bit earlier on when he came back into that lane. Tabs and Mythic also been very careful in the bottom side as well. They saw that Big Pomelo had just gone out there toward. Look at this. OMG actually moving up through the side of the Lemondogs jungle.
Really big fans of contesting the blue buffs over and over. Wow, he runs into the wall. Leeson couldn't quite get over there. But what I really want to point out is definitely some miscommunication here from OMG. They've built 2 of these Abyssal Scepters on each of their solo laners. Ahri, if she wanted an item for herself, if they were going to be split up, well, NecroTarkan does get dove here by Loveland.
Yeah, kicking him, or trying to kick him back towards Cool there. Didn't quite work out, but either way, it's freed them up for their second turret takedown of the game here in that mid lane. And you can see that while it's not a high kill game, they're starting to really build up that gold lead with that dragon, with those couple of turrets going down.
And the roam is going to continue here from Loveland. They've comboed going after he took his turret. He's double roaming with the jungler now. They've all set their sights towards this bottom lane, and Lemondogs have to be aware of this one.
Well, can they defend it? That's the problem. They've got 4 versus 3 down here, and you can see that they're just not comfortable with sticking around for that one. OMG going to pick up the 3rd and final outer turret left there that was standing for the Lemondogs.
All right, since they aren't going to fight over this, we have a little bit of time to go back over those dual Abyssal Scepters that were bought. If, going and Cool were like, okay, we're going to be split up, so we're going to both want these auras, then a solo item for Ahri would be the Deathfire Grass if he was going to rush something, if they wanted 100% pure. I think that was definitely miscommunication on their parts. They both got the same aura here, and that is a little bit of hope for Lemondogs because some of that gold lead is spent in maybe the not most optimal way for OMG. Meanwhile, we've hit that Lich Bane, and we've also hit the Trinity Force for Lemondogs. So even though they're behind right now, they have fairly good items before the next dragon that pops up. 30 seconds on the next dragon will be very telling for the mid game. If Lemondogs decide to go for this one and OMG contest, it's going to be a very, very dirty fight.
Well, Zoro has come away from that top lane now. We can see that Cool in middle is going to be pushed a little bit here by NecroTarkan, but Lemondogs trying to hold this position in here on the dragon. They've got pink wards down. They've got all 5 men on this bottom side. Now Kennen is nowhere near. He's starting to come down. Tristana coming from base as well. Lemondogs are going to get a lot of damage, if not take it, before OMG can get there.
Only thing Lemondogs have to worry about here is Cool picking one person off and assassinating them. They did have going roam down, so now Lemondogs are actually forced to try and get behind their turret before OMG can actually start getting damage on it. They're a few steps behind right now.
Well, let's see. 4 men on the top of it. Will be a fitness. Big Pomelo comes around, and I'm not sure that Lemondogs can stop this happening. That turret being shredded down right now. Will fall, but here comes Zoro from the side. Where are they going? They've gone on towards Go, and they're going to dive right on him. He gets nuked down. There's a 4-man crescendo at the back as well. Cool and Big Pomelo both going low as Tab Valkyrie's in. He picks up another one. Here comes Zoro once again. Lovely actually diving to the back line. He's going to fall, and right now 4 men are down. Only San left alive here for OMG. Can they carry on and keep up with him? No, they can't. They let him go. Well, that's 3 men left alive to push that outer turret in mid.
Very good initiate there from Lemondogs just at the end of the turret, so they were able to get the damage down before OMG were able to react. We saw Going get bursted completely down by NecroTarkan, getting chunked out on the side here. All right, yeah, so let's look. A beautiful cocoon plus the initiate from Zoro, and Going gets blasted by NecroTarkan. This is the Abyssal Scepter rather than the Hourglass for him. And at this point, that big one missing was huge, actually, for OMG. And that's the reason that they were actually to answer right here. San in the back was still at full life, so he was comfortable rocket jumping in. One of the few situations we have the Tristana going for those very late rocket jumps into a full team. But he was confident enough, especially since there was no more mana left on NecroTarkan, that he could clean that one up.
So that leaves us at 5-4 in kills, 4-0 in turrets though for OMG. Something that Lemondogs will be certainly thinking about changing. It's close to a 4,000 gold lead as well for the Chinese side at this point.
And I think really doubling up on those Abyssal Scepters right there. If Going either had an Hourglass or Cool. Oh no Hourglass still. He's going down.
Yeah, they're going to bounce onto him here with Zach as well. It's Tabs that will finish off that one. And I was talking about towers and how they want to go for them. Meanwhile, NecroTarkan here in the mid lane, he's in all kinds of trouble. He's a dead man. Cool will pick that one off. But they trade that for a killing top plus that tower.
Dual assassinates right here for both teams, but it's Lemondogs who got the turret down, so at least they got their first turret taken. That's some global gold for them. This is really where pretty much all the deficit is coming from for Lemondogs right now, is in turret money. OMG took this opportunity to get full ward control of the lizard side jungle of Lemondogs though, and that's a very scary thing when you have an Ahri and when you have a Lee Sin.
So let's have a look down the items once again. AD carries now. We mentioned that Triforce earlier, finished 4 tabs. He's now added that last Whisper into that one. Other side for Tristana, 3-0-1 we should mention as well right now for San. And a goal between them is still in favor of San down there. Only a couple of CS in the lead, but 3-0-1 and those extra global objectives that OMG have been able to pick up. He's already got that Infinity Edge done as well.
Yeah, it's all that tower money is still keeping OMG ahead. But if Lemondogs can keep this one solid out for a little bit longer, they are going to look for picks with their Fizz. It's just that OMG are doing the exact same thing with their Ahri. Mithy doing a very good job with that Oracles, clearing out their lizard side jungle. NecroTarkan finds his pick.
There is Chum the Waters coming in. San had already jumped away, and look at the damage there coming out from NecroTarkan's Fizz. He will pick up another kill for himself, but right now, Cool going in, Mithy going low, busts down the crescendo onto 3 of them. We're going to have Zoro diving in. There is going, popping his ultimate. Tab falling low. He will be picked up in the end. They switch around to Loveland, and now Tab's finally getting in onto the fight. They'll get another one back. It will end 2 for 2.
So, I was talking about both assassins getting picks. They both got their picks right there. NecroTarkan got his solo onto San, but then Cool had a very good charm under the turret onto Mithy, completely taking him out. He did get crescendo off, which almost saved it for them, and another trade here for both teams. This is a very close game. Even though OMG have the lead, the outer turrets are looking a little bit weak for them. So Lemondogs can actually close up that gold lead fairly quickly with just one team fight. One successful team fight. It's a better choice of words.
I got you. Lovely. Sorry, Gogoin is close to finishing off that Zhonya's Hourglass there as well, which is certainly going to be helping things out as things go forward. That DFG we saw from Cool last time in that fight, how dangerous it is at this point. Other side, Zhonya's is now added in to that Lich Bane for NecroTarkan. Well, we all know what a Fizz can do at this stage of the game.
I think that is the scariest point for a Fizz, because Lich Bane, yes, that's a crucial damage spike for him. He gets a huge amount of power from adding another AP ratio to his already very strong kit. But now, with the Hourglass, he has the ability to buy himself time for those cooldowns to get another rotation of abilities off, and he becomes an extremely potent assassin right now. Same thing, though, for Cool. He has the 2 items that make Ahri devastating right now. He finally has the Deathfire Grass. He will be able to kill Mithy all by himself next time.
Well, let's see right now a bit of a dance around, because that dragon, as you see in the top left, is coming up in around about 20 seconds time. Pink Ward's put down a Oracle Elixir for Big Pomelo right now. They've got the positional advantage, but Lemondogs, we've seen anything from them before. They're not going to let that go.
And OMG are ready to fight for this one. They have the Hourglass now on going. Like we said, the Deathfire Grass is ready to go. This is definitely going to be a brawl between all 10 members.
There is 0-0 getting himself in the corner. They've cleared out the vision that Lovelin put down. Will he decide to jump over onto the OMG team?
This is all about the area control from the 2 AoE support ultimates that are going to go down. If Mithy can land a good crescendo first, then Lemondogs can get the jump on this fight.
0-0 starting to charge up. The dragon has gone down, but look at the damage coming onto 0-0 already. And he can jump away from the backside of that dragon pit, but we see Lemondogs going south. OMG going straight towards that mid lane.
This is, again, the same thing we saw at the last dragon. Lemondogs grab it, but OMG get the positional advantage, pushing down the lane first. Last time they got a turret, even though Lemondogs won the team fight. This time, Lemondogs are actually in a small corridor, which is very bad for them. Zyra would be huge. They can't walk down that small corridor.
Turret damage already coming in here from OMG. Not quite half health taken away, but certainly a good chunk there. Here comes Mithy from the side. Flash Crescendo comes in. Chum the Waters goes down onto Gogoin. There's a Stranglethorns as Dexter has to flash away, but Tabs is right on top of them. Sorry, NecroTarkan on top of them there with that Fizz. He will use the Zhonya's, but he's miles away from the rest of the team. He's still managing to get away. There is the Elastic Slingshot in. Let's Bounce comes down. Lovelin's going to have to try and escape this one. Flash over the wall from Tabs. That's a double kill for him, and somehow they turn that around there, and it will end with a 2-0.
Again, Gogoin right here. Gogoin gets chunked out early. He has to burn his Flash and his Zhonya's before he even can get the damage from his Melch. That was just huge for them. Lemondogs doing a great job here. Always targeting Gogoin. The beautiful Flash Crescendo I talked about. The ultimate's coming from there. He had to use his Zhonya's everything. Now he's going to pop it late. NecroTarkan does a great job kiting the damage from this ultimate. And we talked about the Hourglass allowing him to get another rotation off. He gets it here to survive. 0-0 is not afraid to go back in because he's got to sell the vision. And right here, Lovelin actually with his Safeguard second active smites the Golem for the extra small HP that you get from Spell Vamp. But that's not going to save you from a full health Corki.
Now, Corki able to finish that one off, and look at that gold. It's come back to just 200, the difference. 10-7, 2 turrets still behind are the Lemondogs right now, but these fights slowly but surely working in their favor. They're now starting to take control of OMG's jungle.
Yeah, that last fight was a huge confidence booster for Lemondogs. Can't emphasize enough their focus on Gogoin. Getting him to burn the Flash and the Hourglass before slicing Maelstrom. Effectively negating that huge area control that they wanted with that pick. It's completely deciding these team fights.
NecroTarkan is sat waiting by that top lane. The lure of a juicy wave of minions coming around. He's thinking someone's going to get drawn into that, and he wouldn't be too far away. But Lovelin coming in. Is he going to go for a 2v1? I doubt it. And he decides, I'm going to get it away from this one. Let's not stick around. Back straight off.
OMG, though, they're still slightly ahead in gold, and they still in their back pockets have this late game Tristana, already Infinity Edge plus Phantom Dancer completed. So if they are able to not have Go going chunked out very early, they still have a really strong chance in the team fights because they can control the mid grounds, and Tristana will be able to put out a lot of damage free firing from the back line.
Lemondogs taking down, finally, that third and final outer turret of the game. So, we're a little bit more even on that front. Still the gold sits at 300 to 400 as it starts to tick around. Actually, that'll change things there with a big, massive wave of creeps. And now, awards start to go down towards Baron. Tense time here in this game, almost 30 minutes in.
Getting really tense right now. It's all about the first few steps of those team fights. Again, they're waiting for flashes here for Lemondogs. The two reasons that they did so well was the flash crescendo from Nifty, huge initiate, and then NecroTarkan was only slippery enough to get out of that with his life because he also had his flash. So that's the only reason he could kite this whole OMG team. And they're just spreading out, grabbing CS until they get those very important summoners back up.
So everyone headed home right now. A Void Staff was completed for Cool, and a lot of pink walls being picked up here by OMG. So they want to try and assert some dominance when it comes to that vision wall, which right now they're certainly not doing a bad job of, but the fact they've lost that outer turret now and Lemondogs have shown they're willing to get into the OMG jungle to start that vision wall going means that they're going to have to put down more pinks to try and clear out.
Smithy's got an Oracles, but he has to be so careful with it. At any point, if Cool gets a Spirit Rush into Charm on him, he will die because with that Deathfire Grasp and the Void Staff you just pointed out, he can easily burst down the support in one single rotation.
So, we heard earlier on, 10 minutes was the time that Lemondogs have to really survive to get things going in this game. They've made it to 30. And honestly, from the summer split, the experience that we have is that Lemondogs, they're not a flashy team. They like to play these longer games. They get the job done.
They are getting the job done so far. I think that people have been underestimating the Chinese team in the mid and late game. Their team fights are usually very clean. I think that if they make a couple small adjustments to their team fight and their positioning, that they can still easily win that team fight. And that's why Lemondogs are still very wary. They need to get those very crisp flash crescendos to start things off.
Right now, only 400 gold separates these two, and both of them setting up in middle. Again, as I mentioned, the wards being cleared out with those Oracle Elixirs, with the pink wards that have been put down from both sides of the map. For now, it's OMG who force Lemondogs back, and this little dance, it could go on for a while, but it's going to get explosive at some point.
Yeah, they're trading. They're taking turns trading with the ward killing around Baron. Lemondogs are taking advantage of this lapse by grabbing the global gold from Dragon, but since OMG are the ones in control of Baron right now, it is a little bit risky. This is actually a very confident play here from Lemondogs, and it does get them 1,000 global gold.
Zoro just face-checked a little bit there, took some damage, but doesn't really matter. He's seen the rest of the team, and Lemondogs actually pushing up here on towards the turret. NecroTarkan dives in onto the backline. He is miles away, will actually flash away a little bit. Here is Go going, moving around the side as well. He's got 3 of them trapped in. There is a crescendo. Cool going to be locked down, but can he get the charm onto Dexter? Yes, he can. It's Sam that finishes off as NecroTarkan tried to get Loveland there at the back, but now he's running for his life. The rest of Lemondogs have already backed away to River, and it's NecroTarkan that's going to be chased down from this one, managing to avoid a little bit of that damage, but how far can you really get against this Tristana? We'll see once his rocket jump comes up. There we go, straight in on towards NecroTarkan, uses that Zhonya's. Can he get down the charm? A little bit too early. Oh, there's the explosion. Sam takes down NecroTarkan.
NecroTarkan there, very aggressive initiate with the Fizz going so deep. I think they were overconfident with the way the last 2 team fights went. They thought they could even tower dive. That is not the case here against OMG. Like we said, Going got off his slicing maelstrom that time, and it was devastating. That might even end up costing them this Baron. Only 2 members of Lemondogs in position here.
Baron going down. We just saw the stats there for an average game time so far in Worlds, and OMG's games up until now have been that little bit longer. So there is the Baron taking down. Yeah. Great pickup for OMG.
Yeah, that was definitely Lemondogs getting a little overconfident. NecroTarkan, he was happy with how he was able to 100% San up in that top lane by himself, but that was definitely an over-aggressive move, and they paid the price with a huge, huge deficit now. Baron buff means even more than the gold that they've got.
So what are Lemondogs going to do from this one? We saw them being overly aggressive when they were feeling confident. Now their opponents have that Baron buff on, so surely a little bit quiet at times incoming here for the Lemondogs. Not wanting to throw any potential away that they've got from this one. It is still very close, but that Tristana really going to start to become a problem, as we saw in that last fight.
Oh yeah, she's very, very strong at this point. Has she hit? Yes, that is level 18 Tristana, so she has the maximum range. And with going now being successful with the Slicing Maelstroms, it buys her that time to get her DPS out. I think that another thing that contributed to Lemondogs' overconfidence there was that the early double up of the Abyssal Scepters that were bought by both solo laners of OMG. OMG kind of, they lost out on that early phase where we see them usually put a lot of aggression. With the 2 Abyssal Scepters, they didn't have enough to win the mid-game teamfight where they usually get the first step.
I'm wondering what they're going to put into effect here with that Baron. You know, most teams that will pick it up at that stage will say, okay, now it's time to push some towers down to start those team fights off. But up until now, OMG, they've kind of sat back here and just pushed those waves out. So Lemondogs, they're not really losing too much when it comes to that immediate power that Baron gave them.
And Lemondogs are actually happy for a stall right now. You know, they're waiting for not only the Baron buff to drop off, but also, again, those flashes that they have to have in order to make the first move. They have to be the ones with the initiates here. They have to be the ones landing those crescendos and bursting down people like going before they get off their key spells. This tower only has one more hit, though.
There we go, finished off. Obviously, OMG did do a little bit of damage to that one earlier on, but that is at least something they've picked up here with that Baron buff. It leaves the inhibitor completely open now for the taking, but you can see they're pretty wary of actually going into the base at this point, not wanting to throw things away. Dragon coming up in just under 2 minutes time as well, but right now it's a bit of a skirmish, a back and forth on the steps of the base.
Yeah, I was also talking about San either going Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, or Infinity Phantom Dancer. He's got both right now. So not only does he have all that damage coming from the backline, but he also has Sustain. So after he rocket jumps away or Buster shots you away, he can lifesteal back up off of your tanks and get back to full life.
So inhibitor focus down to less than half. OMG tread very, very carefully here, making a step closer to taking down the first inhibitor of this game. There we go. San going to home in onto it. They are going to be able to take that inhibitor. NecroTarkan actually taking a lot of damage there and getting stunned up by going. But OMG taking down the inhib. They're going to be happy and back away.
That's that 703 range that we always talk about late game Tristana being so strong. She can get those stray shots onto an objective like a tower or an inhibitor without even having your front line go in. Very, very safe take right there. And then now it's actually OMG, the ones that are playing the slow, methodical game, ending this one out, taking all of the outer objectives now, trying to add more gold onto this inhibitor lead that they've got.
Well, they're going to poke down the inner turret in this bottom lane right now. Zoro actually dives in, but he's down to less than half HP. There's a crescendo coming in. Miffy gets knocked up. Lovelin was caught there by Chum the Waters, but he only lost half of his health. Going finally taken down. Right now, only one man down for OMG. That could change here quickly as Big Pomelo goes low. Lovelin is still low. San going very far forward in this one, but still they stand. Look at his health here, San. He's regenerating up so quickly.
Yeah. The Bloodthirster right there definitely paying off. He's still back to full life, and 4 members means they can go for this one. They take down the turret, and they continue to press in.
Keep going on to this one. San not worried at this point, thanks to that lifesteal that he's going to be able to get back by that next minion wave coming down. He sets about the tower. Lovelin trying to get those coconuts onto Lemondogs to see if he can get in. NecroTarkan was having a sniff as well, but that Tristana going to outrange him by a mile, and he knows that he just can't get close enough to even think about going in.
It's also scary because he already has Cowl there, San on Tristana, and once that turns into the Banshee's Veil, you won't even be able to catch him off guard and pick him off. If NecroTarkan goes for his combo, he can't, either the Chum the Waters or his initial damage burst in are going to be negated. It's a good job by OMG. They're showing up all their weaknesses here, and it looks like they have a very solid hold on this end game.
So Baron buff has now worn off and will be spawning again in 1.5 minutes time. The Dragon is available for the taking as well, which the later we go down this one, the gold that it offers obviously not going to be the biggest thing around, but certainly something that OMG will quite happily deny to the Lemondogs. Right now though, it's probably going to be all about regaining control of this Baron area again.
And again, Lemondogs do have to be extremely careful right now. If they don't get the first step, then they're going to pay for it. We've seen 2 slicing maelstroms be successful and 2 very huge, crucial team fights for OMG, grabbing them this huge lead. Now that their base is wide open as well, it's very dangerous then for them to extend up to that Baron pit to try and keep their vision alive.
Crescendo is up for mid. He's so far this game done well with getting the initiations from it, but without the flash available to him, it becomes all that much harder. Right now, NecroTarkan here waiting in the tri-bush. Lovely puts a ward straight on top of his head. And just to add insult to injury, we'll clear out the wards from earlier on with that Oracle Elixir that he's got running.
Now dual death caps bought by both solo laners of OMG as well. So the power spike up here for all this dual AP means that they are going to have pretty much all the control that they need in a team fight. And it's going to be OMG making a huge mistake if they actually lose this one.
Well, the ping's going down. Zoro on the front, just narrowly avoiding the charm. Taking some poke back, but he is going to move in and try and get OMG out of position from this one. And interestingly enough, Lemondogs able to go through there and grab that Baron area control.
Now, Zach is a very, very chancy initiator because the other team can see that shadow. And if he misses his elastic slingshot, he can get chunked out before the team fight even starts, just like last time.
And there we go. He's already down to less than half. He's going to let bouncers go. Going to the back. Great crescendo from Mitty, but will he be able to survive? No, he won't. Cool now on a rampage as he shuts him down. Flashes in as well. They're going to keep up with the kills. Tabs is going to fall. That's a double kill here for Cool. Dexter's walking away on the backside. Tabs is being chased down by Lovelin right now. This is going to be a close fight. The Q misses. NecroTarkan going to take him out. Brilliant stuff from NecroTarkan, but now Dexter is being chased as well by San on this bottom side of the river. Is he going to be able to escape? No, he's not going to be able to. NecroTarkan even managing another one. Finished off in the end though by the plants.
All right, yeah, so Zach is inherently a chancy initiator, very risky, because if you do miss that elastic slingshot and your team is not immediately following up, you get bursted down before the team fight even starts. And now OMG, with those death timers, they're running on Nexus.
They're looking.
Inhibitor respawn.
Oh, wow. That's always a bit of a pain. But OMG, you know, they've got these big death timers coming in. They are going to start taking down those Nexus turrets. They're going to pick up the Nexus kill and go 3-0 here with that victory over Lemondogs in Group A.
Congratulations to OMG. They look very, very strong.
We have to give credit here to the Lemondogs as well. You know, this game was incredibly, incredibly close for the longest of times. This wasn't, you know, level 1 masses of fights. It was a much slower game, to be honest. But OMG showing that they can perform in a fast game or a slow game. It doesn't matter to them. They know how to do this.
I think that is the biggest takeaway from this one. Going up against Lemondogs, who are known for the slow late game and the strong late game.